Hey guys, welcome to the VOD. We're on day 2 of the 10-day playtest. What are we gonna get into today? Not 100% sure. Definitely this cold brew for sure. We're going to potentially play the game, see what some people are up to. We're gonna do Q&A. We're gonna talk about the game. I got some hard decisions that we made on a couple things that you asked about yesterday. Yeah, maybe showcase some people playing the game, like our lovely friend Ollie. Go over there right now, actually. Uh-oh. Well, that didn't go very well. Hey, what's up, AJ76? How's it going? Let me fix this little view here at the top. There we go. 1629 online. Pretty cool. Give me a second here. Let me kill this client. Uh-oh. I killed all my clients. What's up, Craft? 0013, Nate's Kojo, Helter Smelter, Aaron Gunn, Javandi90. Did I get any sleep? Yeah, I got lots of sleep, actually. I'm doing great. I got like probably a full 8 hours if I had to guess. I just got off a little call with Pattis the Ranger, aka Harrison, and oh man, is Fallen Watch gonna be Chef's Kiss? Is gonna be insane. It's just gonna be a good zone. All right, let me get the client back up. Client did bad thing. I was thinking about making a character. A totally legit leveled character. Excuse me. Sup, baby? Sup to Dev Trav? I'm just a Cleric enjoyer. I just can't help it. So let's go Cleric. And let us Alright. Been loving Archer? Nice, the Dev Trav. Glad to hear it. Gotta get my customization options locked in here. Okay. What's up, Sean Heidi? How's it going? What's up, Sevistra? Has your blood been replaced with Kirkland's yet? I've been sipping on... I just threw away the Kirkland from last night, though I did take a few sips. I think it was less than 24 hours, so I think we're in the clear on that. But I did crack a new one because I figure this will go beyond that 24 hours. But I'm probably not gonna drink all this. Randy Quaid haircut from Kingpin. The Kirkland King? That'd be a fun Photoshop. Parker Grove grouped with a dude named Nick's Cold Brew earlier. Nice. Hey, Nick, will Deep Gnome Druids have teleports to deep zones? Will the deep zones be considered indoors as far as Unity camo is concerned? The deep zones will be the overland, underland zones in the deep will be considered outdoors. As far as outdoor abilities and such are considered, so. All right. Let's see here. Oh. I think I like this. I think I like that. That's fine for me. And let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do my all-time favorite. Fast metabolism. And what do we do here? You know what? We just go Tavern Regular because it's just a Chad move. Good evening, Arcano. Is Deep Goblin Confirmed going to be playable, or is that a concept art NPC only race? Probably NPC only race, but you never know what can happen. We like to get a little funky, like to get a little crazy, so you never know what can happen in terms of it being a player race. Fast metabolism? Your endurance is increased by 25%, but you consume food 25% faster. I'm a weirdo who's been known to name their character Strafe Run on P99, so I'm very obsessed with like strafe running and jumping to get away or get places faster. So that'll happen occasionally. Let's see here. What's up, Thunder? Hope to be compensating you to play this game in January. Nice, Let's Play. Glad to hear it. What's up, Enkidu? Are you guys looking for future class concepts yet? We have a couple in mind, but we haven't solidified any hard decisions there. I think there's a thread on Discord that maybe even Bjorn from the team made where we have like a list of potential future classes. So I'd probably try to find that thread if you have anything to contribute there. I don't think so, Raziel. My guess would be that it is bad luck, but you can always ask Stab. I believe he is the one who implemented that. What's up, NST Claire? Berserkers, please. Will the game add a borderless client mode? What is the FPS, your background FPS set as fast as I can? Because, hold on a second. Let's, you know, we're making a character on Krivia. Let's go Krivia. You know, just represent. Man, this looks I think this looks a little too fancy for a starting weapon. I think we might have to bring back the club. You know? This is look at this thing. Yeah, so there's another issue, Pipes. I think we did something, an optimization with buying from merchants, but there's a selling to merchants that is also unoptimized and is likely to not be able to be resolved during the 10-day playtest, but I'll have to double check that that is the case. It'd be really nice. I'll double check on that, actually. Not sure, Cryoblade, but I think that might be resolved with a / reload. I would definitely give that a try. Oh, I'm gonna have to get my UI resolved here. Let me do that real quick. And transfer my settings over from my other character. Yeah, so I just got confirmation that the merchant sell optimization would require a client update. And it's too big of a refactor to just unleash on a active playtest. It's going to need more testing. But it didn't look bad, and yeah, so we're not going to be doing that. So there will be a bit of lag in Night Harbor, but we do have a resolution, we believe, coming after the playtest. So let me quickly grab my UI stuff. Throw that on my newly created Cleric. Done and done. Okay. And now let's start up the game. Perfect. Hey, what's up, D-Loves? Did I get enough sleep this morning? I did. I actually got really good sleep. I'm feeling good. Feeling a little bit better than yesterday, too. I think I'm quickly fighting off whatever kind of quick sickness I had. So let's load this guy in. Yeah, the fire giant looks insane. Okay, so we got our UI sorted. Now it's time to sort our character. I'm gonna do this. How's the music level? Liz Kimber. Don't go. Music's quiet. Pretty quiet. Any better? What's the agenda for the day? We're just hanging out. We're probably gonna give away some alpha keys here in a minute. So actually, let me let everybody know about the alpha key stuff, and then we can get onto that as well. Try to be a little bit more reserved with the alpha key giveaways, you know, like, well, first we're gonna try streamer giveaway again and see if that actually works, because it's so much more nice. Like, I like that one better than Nightbot, because I've got all the people that have won in there. What's up, Red666? Hola. Nick, on launch, how much character customization is going to be available? Halfling women only have one hairstyle right now, for example. That's going to keep getting added to over time. I don't know that if there will be, like, I don't know if there will be more options or not. By the time we go into early access, it might be one of the things that we get to. It definitely seems like a worthy one of getting to. However, maybe there's a situation where certain races could, or maybe all characters could have their customization options reset or something on the early access servers, so that, maybe you're able to switch that. But I'll make a note about that too, because that's another question to ask. Customization, Linux, respec customization, visual customization, for EA servers, for limited license, for all. Yeah, so I actually have a couple answers on what direction we'll probably be taking for certain things. So I'll get to that in a second here. But let me kind of get the hype train rolling in terms of the giveaway stuff. Nick, finally, is it in full red? Should I be in full purple? I was thinking about putting a purple armor set into the game. What do you think? Is it possible to have mana and health replenish upon leveling? Alright, so yeah, hold on a second. Let me hit start giveaway real quick. Okay, so far so good. Streamer giveaway. Oh, I lied. I think it just crapped out. Hold on. Is it gonna go? I think we just permanently broke streamer giveaway. So yeah, we're gonna have to go to Nightbot. Rip. All right, let's get Nightbot going. Okay. Luckily, you're all on the list still, so no need to worry there. Yeah, feeling much better today, actually. May actually try to get into some gameplay. I've got a level 40 Cleric that I'm gonna mess with. So let me... But I do want to talk about some of the decisions that we came to on a number of topics. So yesterday we brought up... multiple questions were brought up in the chat. So... if we... So the question was, should we allow you to mine and gather with a gathering tool anywhere in your inventory as opposed to equipping it? This is the one that we're still unsure on. We need to discuss it more. But the other ones were a definitive, like, yes or no, right? So... should we allow no-drop items to be traded for X amount of time, say 5 to 10 minutes, to people in your group or raid, if we add raid groups, who got kill credit? So, we were a resounding thumbs up on this. That being said, this is the one that I'm a little bit like wary on. Like I definitely gave like the thumbs up on this one, but like is there any gotchas with this? Does this kind of ruin any gameplay? To be honest, I was always stressed out like trying to get a Vulak loot after killing Vulak on P99, because you do the whole convoluted strategy, right? And then you have to like drop down, DA idle, loot the thing, like that was a little, but it was a thing, right? So, like actually physically looting, but I guess technically somebody's physically looting it and then handing it off, even if it's no drop, and then the no drop timer ends. So, but I think it seems like a legit thing. Let me know if not. Okay, so the next issue was, should we show the character who created an item on a crafted item on the item inspec? So say this was a crafted item, it would say like crafted by Nick. So we were a resounding thumbs up on this one. However, there was some discussion about potentially limiting it to certain items. I think at a minimum, we probably shouldn't put it on like copper bars and stuff. I don't know that that's, you know, it should be like an equipable item, right? Like a fine steel breastplate, you know, at the minimum. Though there was some discussion about maybe it being a secondary process, like an engraving tool, or maybe for mastercrafts only. So we'll see where we land with that one, but essentially thumbs up on that. Oh, sorry, on this one, it was, should we show a cursor swap when hovering over a gathering node? So, you know how like in WoW, like if you go up to a gathering node, you hover over it, it does like a little thing, right? Like it changes the cursor. We were a resounding thumbs down on that one. So, while it could be a nice little accessibility thing, right? Or we kind of think that like it's a very visual game. We're not trying to like tip you off on things. Like you should be keenly aware of what you're doing and seeing in the world. I mean, this is kind of just my off the cuff commentary on it. Like there shouldn't be like a UI spoiler essentially, right? If you're just like in the dark and you're like, oh, I see a little, my cursor changed. Like, that's, I don't know, unrealistic or something like that. So that's kind of my off-the-cuff explanation of why we're thumbs down on that. But I'm sure the other guys can speak on it better. And then on the matter of, should we allow players to preview an item from an item link on their paper doll, like a visual gear preview? We are going with a resounding thumbs down. So, if you want to preview an item on yourself, then you need to you need to get the item. Like yeah, like, you know, it's not a fashion show, guys. Like, it's a nice feature in certain games, I think. I don't think there's anything wrong with the feature. We just don't like it for our game. It is a little bit of a fashion show. You are right. It is Fashion Quest. But I think there's something to be said about looting that item for the first time and gazing at it on your character, as opposed to a fake UI 3D visualization on your UI, like a UI element. Like, that is a little bit kind of taking away the fun of equipping that item for the first time and then looking at your character in awe, right? Like, that's my guy. As opposed to it being in a window in like a fake representation of yourself that has this item, and even if you don't have that item already, like, it's like, yeah, it's weird. It's like viewing Thunder Fury on yourself and being like, wow, you know, maybe I'll get that someday. Probably not, though. So, yeah. No trying on stuff unless, I don't know, maybe there's something we could do where it's like a try-on system where you actually get to hold it, but then kind of like the trade bags, what do we call them? The, consignment bags, right? Where it's like, it artificially restricts the item in some way, so you're just trying it on and then you don't get to keep it. Where your character's physically doing it. Other than that, like, I don't think that it makes sense to have like a UI representation of that. How am I gonna figure out what my transmogs are gonna be? Funny you ask. Yeah, obviously you know that we're not doing transmogs. Hey, Scumble3232, thank you for the raid, and let me catch up here on chat. SparKeysu84, thank you for the prime. Synchroneous9, thank you for the prime. Craft Thor, thank you for the prime. Primus MMO, thank you for the shout out. Appreciate that. Corn Muffin 999, thank you for the prime. Hey, and Primus. Oh, Primus rated me. That was yesterday. Okay. Appreciate that. And yeah, thanks for all the follows, guys. So let's fire off a quick winner. Choose a winner. Illusional. You win the first alpha key of the day. Congrats. Whisper me your M&M account, email, and Discord. You can click my name there in the Twitch chat and whisper me. So yeah. And sorry guys, like, I know on a number of these issues, like, there's gonna always be a different opinion that people share. It's not my... I don't take great pleasure in saying, like, no, we're not going to do something that you want in the game. However, it's important that we maintain a certain vibe for the game and do, you know, have a consistent decision-making process. At least in our mind, a consistent decision-making process. So, you know, I don't take great pleasure in telling you guys, no, we're not going to do something, but sometimes it just has to be done, right? And, you know, we're always still open to hearing feedback on things, and, you know, maybe maybe feedback does change our mind on something from time to time, but and regarding a number of those features, there's nothing bad about those features per se. They're fine features. We just don't think that every MMO needs to have a checklist of every feature in every game, right? Like, it makes a lot of sense for other games to have all those things and more. But in the attempt to create a certain vibe and to create a certain feel for the game, we opt to not do certain things that would otherwise seem like no-brainers, right? And who knows, down the line, if we ever, you know, if we're successful in our endeavors with the Monsters and Memories kind of core experience, if we are afforded the opportunity to work on different versions of Monsters and Memories, spin-offs, or any other games, you may see some of those features within those type of things, right? But for the core Monsters and Memories experience, we have kind of a design philosophy that we're following and will continue to follow throughout development. All right, let me catch back up on the chat again. Kirby the Mad, thank you for the Prime. Luckless Clover, thank you for the Prime. Tumsy797, thank you for the Prime. Action Pants, thank you for the Prime. Wanderer Ill, thank you for the Prime. Appreciate that. Is it because you are GM that your XP bar is on fire? No, that is because I'm in a hell level. I am currently level 40, and yeah, essentially that just means I'm in a hell level. So it's like your experience bar turns into like hellfire, essentially. Found a 30+ Beastmaster. Oh, I don't want to spit. I won't read that out generic because I don't want to spoil that. Can we hotfix it during the test? I don't know if I'll hotfix it in the database, and then that may get it fixed on certain servers if we like restart overnight. But I can't. There's no promise on that one. But I will make a note of it just in case. Jen Eric, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Have you thought about maybe adding a way to make an item no drop for coin on the PvP server? Oh, that's an interesting idea. I think it's been brought up, but no concrete plans on it. Here, let's just ask the PvP channel. If you guys are PvPers, let's just get some quick feedback on this, because let's just get the PvPers' opinion on this. So Eminem PvP discussion, thumbs up or thumbs down. A chatter asked this. So we could just get some real-time feedback from the PvP community. That'll be nice. Bullet123, thank you for the Prime. Kirby the Mad, thank you for the Prime. And Luckless Clover, thank you for the Prime. And what's up, Tank Tops are nasty? 7 consecutive streams. You're a madman. Any thoughts on allowing players to change icons of their abilities, or do you have a pass coming to them? A lot of abilities use the same icons, it gets messy. Goblin's actually going to be working on that, getting us more ability icons. Technically, you could probably make a macro that's like cast like 5, and then say 5 is your heal, and then you can use any of the icon you want. So technically you can already do this in a way through macros, but we're going to be adding new unique ability icons to kind of differentiate things a bit. Will there eventually be tooltips for the character stats, or is a design decision to leap them up to intuition? There will be some, a minor kind of not super informative tooltip. There will be some information, not all the information, so that you can better kind of figure things out in character creation and whatnot. We'll also be providing a stat respec for you. When linking an item, the chat bar technically closes and you can't type anything after the linked item. This is problematic, IMO. Could this be changed to keep the window open? Let me add that to our UI tasks list just to make sure that we got that covered. Sorry, Encrypt. I swear, I'm gonna actually organize this. This is gonna make sense one day. But until that day, just throw it on the pile. Dedicated water/food slots, please. Maybe like a bag or something that's like specialized for it. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't know if we do anything like that. Any type of melody use in macros at all? Probably not in macros. It'd probably be its own mechanic, but we're also probably not doing melody, but never say never. I envisioned it being, if we did do it, it would be possibly a mechanic that it's not perfect, so you can't twist as much as you could manually. But the option is there if you want to do like 2 songs maybe. And you would have to set that manually. You wouldn't have a macro for it. You'd have to like cast 1 song manually, cast a 2nd song manually, hit a button, and then you're melodying those 2, right? But that's just my kind of like random thought. I know you all don't want mouse cursor changes over nodes. Would you be open to having the game cursor be scalable with UI scaling? I think it's been on the list for a really long time. That's one of the things that I believe that I may have requested like years ago, but we just never got around to. But let me also add that to the UI task list just in case. But that is a very good like key feature that we have no problem adding. So in like World of Warcraft example has this now, right? It's a core feature in their UI settings, so yeah. Is it intended I can fletch 20 arrows at a time? No. You're actually supposed to be able to fletch more. I thought Rift was probably going to be adding like a fletching table. Let me double check on that. We'll get that fletching table added, and you'll be able to craft more arrows at a fletching table. A fletching kit, you'll be able to do 20 probably, but at a fletching table, you'll probably be able to do like 200 or something at a time. So, yeah. Yeah. Will PvP server have level restricted engagement, or will it be free-for-all with no level restrictions? Currently, it is... it is level restricted. There's like level ranges. There will be future PvP servers that probably don't have a restriction, but it'll probably be like the team server, right? And you'll probably have like maybe friendly territory, enemy territory, stuff like that, so that you can kind of have like a newbie zone to maybe start in, and then once you venture out of that newbie zone, then you're in PvP to all area, right? So that's kind of the idea with the team's PvP server in my mind, but would also love to hear feedback on that as well. Goblin said icons are coming along. We're going ahead with layering and coloring as well. Yes. Can't wait to make more ability icons with weird purpley colors and insane, like, whatever it's called. I forgot. Nick, wife says, make sure you're buffing every 60 minutes while healing. I think I can manage that. Elementalist pets need to queue up targets instead of canceling. and going to a new target. Yeah, there is kind of, I mean, potentially, yeah. I think there is an issue with like the mob like having like a hate list, and then it like it gets really annoying. Like if something is aggressively done to the pet or maybe you, then your pet kind of has that target on the hate list, and like you might not want to attack that. But I think pet passive might help with that already. But yeah, I'll have to think on that one. I wouldn't want it to feel too automated that you're queue up targets instead of canceling and go to a new target. Let me just make a note and then think about it. I was in an ad. Was there an answer regarding changing initial skills like Infravision to Master Artisan? Well, Infravision is probably just going to be straight up racial. But changing like Master Artisan to fast metabolism or something like that, like that's probably in the cards. Yeah, like we're going to be supporting it. How easy it is to respec is probably going to be up for debate. So yeah. With all the trade skill money sinks, can we get an adventure money sink of gear repair and degradation? It's a win-win. Takes more money out of the game. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be doing any durability. It's a cool mechanic, but I don't know that it's a mechanic that classic MMO players are super fond of. I think there's decent money sinks that we can provide, and essentially, yeah, just not a huge fan of it. But maybe there are certain things that you need to maintain, right? Like in different ways. So I think we could find something that's in the spirit of that, but not be exactly your gear. But yeah, we'll see. Nice, Scumble. It is powerful. We do keys every 15 minutes, 4 per hour. I was thinking maybe 30. What are we at right now? We're 43 minutes into stream, so definitely another key in the next like 17 minutes. Does it work similar to OSRS Wilderness? No, but we've thought about maybe adding some OSRS style wilderness zones to the game, even on PvE, right? I was thinking more with like the friendly enemy contested territory. That was more like the WoW classic PvP server thing. I don't think it's restricted. I've been getting killed by reds all day. Yeah, they're probably a very low red to you though. I think the level range is like 4 or 5 levels difference. So somebody that's, you know, a few levels above you would even be red. Thank you for all the follows, by the way, guys. If you are into kind of getting information about the game and kind of getting questions answered and stuff like that, definitely please drop a follow. I do these streams a lot now, so yeah, appreciate it. Let's see what other questions we have here in chat. Your question in PvP chat has had an outstanding negative response to the question. I am not surprised in the slightest, but I wanted to kind of represent that the PvP community feels that way currently. The idea completely removes the risk of PvP, especially for any players with a high-level character looting to twink alts. Precisely. Well, that pretty much solves that for whoever asked that question. Now, if you're not a big fan of item loot PvP, then the team's PvP server will likely not have that. Because I think the free-for-all PvP with item loot PvP server encourages a certain kind of PvP and a certain kind of PvP environment where people who are overly aggressive will get punished. They'll lose items eventually, right? Whereas a team's PvP server, you kind of want to encourage more aggressiveness, I feel, and kind of team pride and protecting lobbies and stuff. Like, you should be more invested in the PvP, I feel, right? Whereas a free-for-all PvP server, it's more about being in this world where you can be attacked, but it's not always the best thing to do, right? Not that that wouldn't exist on the team's PvP server as well, but it's just a different environment a bit. Especially if we get into some like interesting like custom rule set stuff for the team's PvP server beyond what, you know, just having teams and some safe zones and some contested zones and what have you, right? Drake Scale Armor Quest is bug. Pants is currently rewarding Cloak. Let me let the proper people know about that one. Done. No repairs, please. Doesn't add a lot of value to the game. I'd go play Immortal Online if I wanted to deal with durability. By the way, random side tangent. I guess a lot of you guys are just playing Monsters and Memories, but has anyone been playing a little bit of Arc Raiders yet? I have a friend that picked it up, and I was watching him stream that after stream last night, and I was watching. To be fair, I was watching Quados, and I was watching Zach stream, but then I hopped on Discord with a friend, and he was playing some Arc Raiders, so. Just wanted to see if anyone had any takes on Arc Raiders. The TTK looks like it'd be up my alley. But the thing that's not really up my alley is, like, I'm not really into the whole extraction thing that much, but I don't know, it seems like a little bit of a unique spin on it. Anyways, let me get back to the questions while you answer that one. Let me turn off aggro for now. Will Evil Races have a city by early access? Technically, Night Harbor is pretty neutral, so even evil races are welcome in here for the most part. Depending, obviously, there is some evil alignments and factions, maybe potentially deities that might not be allowed here, but the idea is that it's kind of Freeport-esque in that it's you know, it's a seedy city, right? So evil races, they might not be the most welcome, but they're somewhat welcome, right? Depending. Any plans to update track? Maybe even have a search bar? I would say tracking is in its initial implementation. It may even get a full revamp later, but currently that's what we're going with for now. Summon food is level 4 and drink is 12 for Cleric. Is this intentional? Yeah. Any chance for a loot all button? No. We want you to have to physically loot items. Loot all is very convenient, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's a hard no from some of us though. So, yeah. Any chance to changing how failing a craft works? When making 30 items, you fail a lot. It's odd to keep clicking craft all. Yeah, so that was the whole debate about craft all, I think we need a checkbox that says stop crafting if you fail or something, right? Let me make a note on that one too. We'll bring that one to the team. We'll also bring loot all to the team, just in case. But I'm pretty sure that one's a no. But the crafting one, yeah, we'll look into that. Did a traits that start you with higher skill levels also raise that skill cap against your level? No, they don't raise your skill cap. It's just like a thing that kind of customizes your starter experience, right? It makes it's meant to kind of custom tailor your starting experience. So, like, for example, if you create a character that is going to be struggling early on with melee, maybe you get the warrior trait so that you have a boost to offense early. The thing that is maintained throughout your whole career is the skill up increase. So if you're like, for example, the cleric I made, I went for defender because it was always kind of a pain to like level your defense skill, right? So this, as like a healer or whatever. So that's just kind of what I decided on for this character. And there may be skill specializations in the future that do indeed actually raise your skill cap. I've talked about this a couple times. There isn't a fleshed out system or design for this yet, but the idea is that maybe as a cleric, I could specialize in, like double attack or something, or maybe I don't specialize in double attack. Maybe I specialize in bludgeoning, and then that unlocks double attack for my bludgeoning weapons, and then raises my bludgeoning skill cap a bit. So it's kind of going for that like skill specialization idea, but like extrapolating it out further to other skills and giving other unique perks that are beyond like reduce fizzle rate, reduce mana cost, or whatever, right? It's kind of fleshing out that idea a little bit more for this game. However, there's no concrete, like, it's not like on a soon TM kind of thing. Well, it is like soon TM kind of thing. It's it'll probably be post early access launch if I had to guess. We still want to see what we can do to flesh that out and make that feel really good. Any mention of Inquisitor longer cooldown abilities equivalent to the hotbar, but not using a spell slot? Yeah, that's a common question that's asked all the time on here. Essentially, we are doing that, yeah. I was thinking maybe, like, if it's, like, longer than 10, 20 minute... If it's, like... Yeah, I feel like if it's, like, 10 minutes or higher cooldown, probably be putting it on the hotbar instead of the ability bar. But if it's a lower cooldown ability, say, like, 5 minutes... 3 to 5 minutes or so, then that would probably have to fight for your main slots, right? Yeah, it's not set in stone yet. And then obviously abilities like throw and shoot arrow would definitely be on the hotbar as well. And possibly just auto granted when you start the game, so there's no ability scroll for them. That's probably also going to be the case. I think there's a weird bug that makes bronze bar still asking 8 copper scraps. Oh, really? Interesting. Let me look at that real quick. Let me lower the in-game volume a little bit. So, bronze bar, you say? Oh, you know what? For some reason, I don't see the ability to make... Wait, hold on. That's why. I know why. Like bronze bar. Search that. Okay. So bronze bar from scraps is a recipe. That should be 10 bronze scraps and a sturdy ingot mold. The normal bronze bar should just be copper bar, tin bar, sturdy ingot mold. If that's not showing up correctly, then I'm not 100% sure what the issue would be. But that's what I'm seeing on my end. Let me just check on the live database as well. Copper tin, sturdy. Yeah, it should be correct. Maybe I'm misunderstanding that, but... Matt Sergi 7, thank you for the Prime. Sorry if I miss you on that. BD84, thank you for the 7 stream streak. It's crazy, man. Alright, let's get back to the chat. Oh, and also, what are we at here? We'll be running a key in the next 3 minutes, so make sure you get your exclamation point giveaway in. Let's also get Illusional in the alpha real quick. Okay. Done and done. And let's see. Will there be EU servers? Likely not CDAC unless there's like an overwhelming demand for it. But a large majority of the servers will be US East, and we feel that the game plays quite good. If you're playing on East. These servers are actually in Europe right now. So as you can see, I have a... I have some ping fluctuation because of some of the... we have a slight optimization issue with the merchant selling. But in general, this should hover around like 108, 112. And I'm in Chicago area, so yeah, Central obviously plays good with the. I mean, everywhere in the United States plays good with the East, and then Europe should play pretty good with US East and whatnot. So yeah, but if there is overwhelming demand for it, you never know what might happen. Plans to add more than one boat. Yes, we are working on... So we're working on better ways to simplify the creation of boat routes. We'll probably create some kind of tool for it. We'll probably optimize how boat routes are. And yeah, there's going to be at least another boat path that starts at the same time at the destination location, so that they're kind of intersecting, right? And then so you'll have a boat in the morning in Night Harbor and then a boat at night time, I guess. Would it be possible to get a cooldown indicator on a skill like Forage, similar to spells and innate abilities? Yeah, I don't see why not. I think we need to do some work into bringing the hotbar to be more consistent with the ability bar. And here, let me run this key here in a second. Make sure you get the exclamation point giveaways in. But let me make a note about that cooldown indicator on the hotbar. All right, let's run that key. Shat-arg. Shat-arg. Congrats. Whisper me your M&M account email and Discord. My name's there in the chat now, so you can see that. And let me whisper Illusional. Let him know that he's all set to go. And let me give myself some more items real quick. Should I give myself the old one? Let's give myself some legacy loot just because. Simone. I feel like it's appropriate. Just too cool. Is it done on an anvil? Yeah, it's done on an anvil. Any news about housing? When will it be implemented? Any storage with housing? Also wonder if we run there or you will have a horse route or a port. No news on it. We're definitely trying to get it more sorted for early access launch, but yeah, it's definitely something that we need to flesh out a little bit more before launch. Man, I am so far up in the chat. Wait, hold on. How many minutes? I'm 16 minutes behind in chat. That is so insane. Okay. I think we just move back to the bottom, guys. I'm not even kidding you. Like, it's not too bad. It's a lot of just giveaway. All right, if I missed your question, just feel free to ask again. I have a question that mostly pertains to elementalists and wizards. When you get a big weapon upgrade in EQ, it feels really good, but as a wizard, there isn't really upgrades that make you feel good like that on a wizard. Will there be a way to increase damage for casters, or is the plan to always remain static and tied to the spells? We'll be looking at caster stats and how we can make that feel better. But yeah, no, I totally agree with you that weapons need to feel like really good even for casters. So I think that might be something that we can do, like maybe put a focus effect on them, or let me make a note about this, because this is an important one, I feel. It should feel really good to get a weapon, even as a caster. Are monks considered a pure DPS class, or is the Vision more of a hybrid tank? Kind of, they're a DPS hybrid tank, kind of. They're not pure DPS in the sense that they're like rogue or archer tier, but they're meant to be like at least fighter tier, right? So that would then put them into the tank conversation as well, but not as good of a tank as a fighter, but because they bring like feigned death utility and right, like, and like more just more utility in general, I would say. Or I don't know, maybe not. Like fighter utility is pretty decent, right? But decent-ish. But yeah, I would say they're around fighter, but just different. Will M&M be instance or open? Open. if we do any instancing, it would probably be like way later on a different rule set after the game is mostly figured out. So yeah. Man, I think I'm starting to lose my voice. That's not a good sign. All right, let me get Shadarg into the playtest or alpha. All right. Hey, we're almost up to 1,700 in game. That's pretty cool. It'd be really cool if we could shatter the record tonight, but it's gonna be a tall task, I feel. Because it is starting to get a little bit late in the day. At least on the European front. But that being said, I think the vast majority of our players are North American based, so I still hold out hope. I still hold out some hope. Krivia is an EU server now? Yeah, currently, but it won't... Like, this is a temporary setup for public playtest and pre-EA. Any plans to integrate with Steam? Not unless it reduces our costs. When Steam reduces our costs to be on Steam, then we'll go Steam. But otherwise, we're completely happy homebrewing our own stuff. So if anything changes in this regard, we'll definitely let you guys know. A few tests ago, there was a bug with trade where you could remove things after a party's accepted. Has that been fixed? To my knowledge, it has, but I can always ask. Will your UI be customizable by players? To what extent our UI will be customizable is undecided. If we did anything, it would probably be like kind of like more of a reskin than like anything too crazy. However, I think there could be some fun customization options like cooldown tracking and buff tracking. I think those are the two important things that would solve the need for even having a program like Gina or that other new one that EverQuest has. What is it called? I don't even know. The new one. But I think homebrewing our own cooldown manager would be pretty... Yeah, nag. So... Yeah. I think homebrewing those would be really cool. And really, really useful. Let me just double check this alpha key real quick. All right. Shadarg is in the alpha. Congrats. Was the enchant tier bar going to take less than 5 dust, or is this the current normal now? I don't know. You'd have to ask Rift, but there is plans to add more sources of dust other than just disenchanting named loot. So there'll be vendor... temporary, like limited stock vendor dust. You'll be able to disenchant like basic magic items like light stones and things once we get the tagging done for that. And You'll also be able to acquire it from, I think, mining or something. I am not 100% sure on the specifics of that, so let that evaluate that. But the idea is that you don't need to level up to do trade skills. Dude, I can feel my voice going away. This is not good. Plans to put buff icons on the group or target window. Oh, so that's the other thing that we really need to align on, but it's going to require a conversation. And like serious design work, right? We're not opposed to that. We just want to present it in the correct way. I like adding elemental wisp drops to disenchanting to make that stuff more solvable and things to farm. Yeah. Any chance that we could get a sound effect when charm breaks? More stuff like that would be great. I think, because that is another thing that Gina does, right? Is he gives you like text-to-speech alerts and stuff. But it would be cool if we just had like sound effects for certain things that are like sound cues that are just immersive instead of like text-to-speech lady saying, "Hey, charm broke." Could enchanters get a unique ability icon for their rune line? Yeah, I think there's something we could probably do for that, yeah. Hey, Goblin, if you're out there, we could probably do like we could probably like even refactor the current shield one to be like more magical in nature or something. When should we be able to craft molds? And they should not be a single use because real molds can be reused and chance to break, but highly unlikely. I'll have to see about that one, Outliers. I'm not 100% sure how we want to handle it. I'll ask Ollie and Rift because they're more trade skill minded than I am. Shouldn't have to buy 300 plus molds to smelt 300 ore. Right, yeah. Sense Magic having italics, normal text, and bold be indicators of how much time is left on a buff is the play. Love Sense Magic. Yeah, I mean, I think Sense Magic is cool. It definitely was like a fill-in thing, though, for buff icons and debuff icons. So my only concern with that is I worry if we are doing buff icons and debuff icons, that it will kind of make that irrelevant. But you could also just do the Sense Magic change for people that don't want to display buff icons and debuff icons, if that's like their choosing, right? So. And we could also revamp or make a new ability similar to Sense Magic that is just like a different themed idea on the ability. Instead of being like a pseudo buff tracker, right? Yeah, potentially, Kazgrin. Yeah, we're doing that as much as we can, comma. You're welcome, Funk. Is a lot of work being done on Beastmaster? We have some plans for it, but I don't believe the work has started on that particular class yet. But I'm sure when, like, it'll be soonish when we do start some of the stuff that we talked about with Beastmaster. In terms of them getting more ability lines, like just generic spells and spell lines and stuff, I'm planning on doing a stream probably soon where I just work on ability lines like that. But in terms of like their core mechanics, taming has been worked on. It's pretty close, but not Beastmaster ready. And then multi-pet is technically possible, but may need something. And so there's a few things that need to be done from a tech perspective, but also a design perspective. Any plans for illusion masks? Who says there isn't any? Any fix coming for the split of silver and copper? I'll see what we think about that. If we want to change it, but as far as I know, that's by design. I believe it round robins the silver. If that makes sense, but I could be wrong. Any plans to add more utility to Elementalists similar to summoning mages had in EQ? Do they not have like decent utility through their pet auras and the different effects that you can leverage with the pet? But yeah, I mean they're gonna get more summoning of items and different cooldowns and different. Yeah, they've got Koth. They've got. I mean, yeah, they're gonna get more, but how much more is the question. Hell 8004, put in a petition, and one of our GMs will be happy to assist you with that. Derelict, that's probably gonna happen if we don't end up making it so that that you could just do it from your inventory. It will probably make it one-handed. I think we said we probably want to make them all one-handed except fishing pole. Are you guys thinking about making unique racial skills being given by default? Yeah, we are. Will it be in place before EA? It'll be in place probably in the next patch. It's already in place, essentially. It's just not in this build. Just curious, as Elf Rogue, is there any benefit to having hide if you have stealth already? Not necessarily. Well, maybe. We'll see. We'll see on those, like Halfling, Sneak, Elf Hide, etc. Noted, Tsunumi-san. Just give everyone everything? Alright, hold on. Hold on. Done. Alright. Will racial abilities ever be off the main hotbar? Yeah. That's one of the things we're probably doing. Separate hotbar for pet summons for Ellies and Necros could be nice so they don't fill up the main ability bar with pets. Well, wouldn't you only have like one pet on the bar anyways though, for the most part? We're not gonna start just throwing everything on the hotbar willy-nilly. Like, we're gonna only do it for abilities that make sense. Will Spellblade get more arcane utility spells? Example, Gate and Bind Soul, or are they just a pure DPS blast class? They're definitely more arcane taught and influenced and stuff, but I don't know that will go as far as making them like the exception to the rule with hybrids where they have Gate and Bind. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it does make sense, but then it's a slippery slope, I feel. And Spellblades are already really zooted, like out of their minds. They will get more stuff though, but in terms of their raw damage output, I feel like they're pretty nice. Because they definitely need more. Any plans for fishing? One of my personal favorites in these games? Yeah. We have fishing, we want to do more with it though. Why not let Elementalists do more summoning for non-combat for utility? Kindling, cooking pot, more weapons, armor, structures, tents, etc. Yeah, that makes sense. Let me make a note on that one. With unique racials, are the ogres the only viable tank? No. Will there be any patches over this test? Not unless we discover something critical that would be relatively easy to fix. Any thoughts on giving more loot options for groups? Something where you would still need to physically pick up the item from the corpse, but as a master looter or need greed style designation of who can pick it up? That's another question that I need to bring to the team and make sure that is a thing that we would like to do or not. But as soon as I get that information, I'll let you know, Hexrick. You think the wizard will get some kind of flux staff equivalent? I definitely wanted to gamify something for it, yeah. I think that would be fun. I'll make a note, because I've actively thought about that in the past. But maybe there's just an item, I don't know. Alright, how long are we into the stream now? We'll be running another key in about 7 minutes, so make sure you get your giveaway in, ! Giveaway. If you're already in the giveaway, you don't need to do it again, but never hurts to fire one off. Sorry, guys. Caught a little sickness a couple days ago, and I think yesterday's stream plus today is starting to catch up with me a bit. Christmas playtest? You never know. You ever take a break? You deserve a vacation. Not really. I definitely have worked in a better work-life balance, but making this game is definitely my life. I do have a wife and kids. They're a source of joy and time away from the game. Take some occasional vacations, but and don't let this sound like depressing or sad or anything. It's very much my choice to want to work on it as much as I do. Could we use resin for fuel for campfires and torches? That might be an interesting one, yeah, because it doesn't really have much use. I'll make a note. Thanks, Matt Surugi. I definitely want to add more to those classes, but it's good to hear that. Any changes you could share about Inquisitors? Seems like the least complete hybrid tank. More options for short duration charms or enchanter pet. Not. I don't have anything that I can really share about them, but the feedback is heard though. We'll see where they end up. They're definitely gonna get more spells and abilities, so. And some unique stuff, for sure. I've got some unique things planned for them. So, nothing I want to show just yet. I kind of want to not spoil one of the things, so. Elemental is summoned. That'd be huge for group. Arrows. Yeah, maybe we could tier the arrows, the summoned arrows, because I'm pretty sure you can already summon arrows, but tiering it would be pretty cool, right? All right, so 3 minutes, less than 3 minutes, we'll run the key. No, Eldo Chis, sometimes it gets reset, so you need to be here in case it gets reset. And, but until I mention that it needs to be reset, or it's been reset, then, you could just only do one giveaway. Pretty sure it's Kirkland cold brew withdrawal. I got a Kirkland right here. I've been sipping on it. But I feel like it's like a chest thing, right? I feel like I think I may have to get like a hot tea or something. Any discussion on ideas on poison crafting? Will it have more presence in here as opposed to EQ Classic? Yeah, it will for us. And I'm working on the itemization that will facilitate the poison stuff. It's been the task that I was working on just before the playtest started. In-game Christmas hesp during the possible Christmas playtest. We're probably not going to do any like real-world stuff like that. Is monk hand-to-hand fist damage delay based on glove AC/weight? I don't know if we're trying to reveal too much of what everything does. It's all theory craft. You cannot summon arrows as of now? Let me double check on that, because I thought I made the ability. Summon arrows. I never added it to the spell vendor. I need to run a query to check if there's any others like that. Done. I'm trying to remember what other things I fixed yesterday I forgot to write down. Elementalist. Added ability, summon arrows. Make a note. Run query to check for scroll items that are not on a merchant. Alright. Let's run that key. Gimpy old man. Gimpy old man. Whisper me your M&M account email and Discord. All right. Which question? I'll just click on your thing. Chatterino is amazing. Would it be too crazy about having class discussions over Discord with player-made panels chosen from the community? Hashing class designs, debates, recording it, and throwing up on M&M's YouTube? I don't think it's, like, too crazy, but I don't know, like... I don't know if it's the play. That being said, I do enjoy getting feedback. You know what I'd like to see? I would truly like to see more community-based discussions. I would like to see, like, podcasts and kind of, you know, streamed podcasts and discussions about the game, because I really, really get a lot out of the community kind of talking about it. I feel like when you kind of get the developer in there, like it's there's like a certain weird dynamic to it. And I'd be worried about creating a weird dynamic. But I really do like when the community hashes things out and comes up with good targeted feedback and good discussions. There hasn't really been an Eminem too many Eminem shows. Like, there's been some one-offs, I think, and there isn't like a regular show. But I would love something like that, and you know, like, I'd probably pop into that, you know, some of them here or there. But I wouldn't want to be like a regular figure on that because, yeah, I think it's just a weird dynamic. Are you sure about that, Koth XD? I don't think I was missed, to be honest, but I appreciate it regardless. Congratulations on another stress test as a QA person. I can only imagine the efforts here. Just made an account and I'm excited to venture in. Thank you and the team for their creative vision and giving us an opportunity into some retro-like community. Hey, thank you so much for the nice message. Ailey Ray, I'm sorry, it's really bad at pronouncing names. But thank you so much for the nice message. I really do appreciate that. And Ailey is fine? Gotcha. That makes sense, Vante Leon. Well, and then another thing could be if somebody is making like a podcast or a, like, you know, whatever you call them, right? A show. That would be fun stream content for me to react to. So see, we got the content grift going on, right? So then I could react to your show, then you can react to my reaction, and then we have essentially a content that grows on trees. So, but no, that would actually be fun to react to what the community is talking about, and then I could like answer different points. Nick, should I be able to place furniture in my house, or is that not implemented yet? I think it should be possible if you're able to make furniture. Have you guys like made any chairs or anything? I think you can do that now, but I wasn't the one working on it. Well, I did an initial implementation, but I never really tested it in a house. I was like doing some other things with it. It won't let me place a bed right now. Seven streams of bad luck? Sorry, Sinris. Love to play with housing. My EQ2 house had a massive aquarium. It was amazing. It does sound amazing. Alright, I got the sniffles. Unfortunate. Can we please get a separate chat setting for resist? Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. I'll make a note. Nick, is there any official word you could share on the timing of the next open playtest or even the go live, no more reset, soft launch release date? To be announced. We don't have any firm dates yet. Beta, hopefully by end of year. That's pretty much all we've been saying. We turn off mob kill feed on the PvP server. There's no counterplay to it. People just watch chat and see you killing stuff and locate you. Seems like they shouldn't have that information. It should be localized, zombies. Is it not? Would you be able to talk about how M&M handles QA? Is it more dev focused? I feel like we have a lot of room to improve on our QA process and a number of processes regarding like how we handle testing release candidates, how we handle commits after we have a release candidate, how we... Yeah, I feel like there's just room to improve there. On how we handle it, there is a lot of ad hoc testing. We have a dedicated QA person. What we could probably do more of, and we have been working on this a little bit, is having like test case and, you know, checklists that we run through. We document our issues in GitHub, but we need to kind of re-adopt using GitHub as our single source of truth. There's a lot, yeah, but in general, there's a decent amount of smoke testing and ad hoc testing, but there probably needs to be more looking at commits, testing a commit as soon as it's, you know, been seen, looking, kind of looking at, and yeah, just, yeah, really running test cases, I would say. But a lot of the team plays, tests things, notices things. There's a lot of like ad hoc bug discussion in Slack, which is what I've been trying to look to improve is like, if we put an issue into GitHub, I want I want the GitHub bot to yell in the bug discussion channel that we have in Slack and say, hey, this has been posted. You know, we have a separate channel for that, but there's some other spam in there. And I think it would be really cool to kind of have a notification when an issue goes in like that. So, I mean, it's a very ad hoc process, and it can definitely be improved. But, you know, we have a passionate team, so it really makes up for a lot of the, you know, that. But as we start getting into early access, we need to tighten that up. Both in terms of how do we handle builds and how we handle QA testing of builds. Sorry for the really jumbled answer. I was kind of thinking a lot about it. How come you're not using tools like Jira for test plans? We don't have Jira. That's one thing. I haven't really looked at the cost for it. It might not be viable for us. We're already set up with GitHub pretty... Scary for GitHub being primary tracking. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. No worries. I'm glad to give some insight on it. Like, I worked in QA, so I'm keenly aware of, like, you know, some of the areas for like improvement and whatnot. In terms of tools though, like I wasn't really aware. I mean, obviously I've used Jira in a professional setting, so I know that it's a strong tool. GitHub was working decently for us, but I think we probably just need more like global adoption of it and people buying in more so, and just getting more structured. And if we do that, I feel like we'd be in good shape regardless of which tool we're using, right? I think that's the most important part. So I worked in a very like formalized place for all that kind of stuff. So I definitely know the benefits of it. So yeah. Yeah, for sure, Craig. Yeah, no worries. It's a good topic. Good topic. Sorry that I don't sound more enthusiastic about it. I'm literally like feeling like I don't feel terrible. It just sounds like I am dying, but yeah, I should really get some hot tea or something. Exactly, Ailey. Yeah, add a honey to it. Yeah, I think I will do that. I think I should go do that. I think I take a quick AFK. Let myself recharge for a couple minutes and get some hot tea. Yeah, Ailey, feel free to hit me up on Discord sometime. Maybe I can articulate what I want to say better. My girlfriend is watching, and she said, go drink that tea instead of saying it 400 times. Yeah. Cooked. Yeah, I'm actually hitting a brick wall, I feel. Like, I'm not even tired, though. It's just my voice in my, like... Alright. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Alright. Did we get Gimpy Old Man into the alpha yet? Okay, we'll run another key in about 6.5 minutes. How come every class that can use shields don't have the block skill? I have the skill to wield it, but not use it. Just cause. I don't know. This is my CBA answer. No, I think it's reasonable that some of the non-tank classes have block. We'll see. We'll talk to the balance designers on that. Yeah, get a lower skill makes sense for sure. Alright, it might be time to play the game, guys. I don't know that I can actually rapid-fire questions. Let me go spy on some people. Look at Q. OOC chat is zone-wide. Not server chat. Oh man, every time I zone out at Night Harbor, my game gets messed up. Can you make it so powerful druids can stop weather? Yeah, we'll probably do something like that. We may make like it be a ritual with multiple druids, or maybe there will be like some limited ability to do that as a single druid as well. Is the sub cost going to be the standard 15 a month? Yeah, but you'll also have the ability to discount that by subscribing for 3, 6, or 12 months, I think. I think maybe just 6 and 12. Not 100% sure. What are these guys doing? What about that lifetime sub? I don't know. I don't know about that one. Yeah, Gimpy Old Man, you won an alpha key. You can whisper me on Twitch here with your account email and Discord, and I'll get you into the alpha. Just click my name. Oh, this is cool. I'm gonna do content I've never done before. Are there more guided quests than old school EverQuest had? Not really. We don't really guide you through much at all. Unless there are some, like, there is some additional information you can get from quests that help guide you. But you have, it's quest specific, and you have to think to ask about it. So it's definitely not handholdy compared to EverQuest. It's actually less handholdy because you don't get the brackets. Oh, sorry, Jalix Brown. There's no map. That's what made EQ for a lot of us, is that there was no map. Different strokes, I guess. You know? Yo, I gotta mem my spells. I don't even know what spells I'm supposed to be using right now. EQ had the sense direction skill? Well, we've got the sense direction celestial objects in the sky. You can also ask guards. Guards will talk to you. Guards will give you information. Yeah, no, I know you're not, Jalix. I appreciate that stance. All right, might be time to just use in-game music. Let's just do that. Let's get the vibes going. I mean, we were listening to the OST, but like, and it does give a nice variety of music, but one of my favorite tracks is literally just this one. The Night Harbor Atmospheres music. It's so good. Yeah, exactly, Nidiak. Dude, I'm a huge noob now. I used to have the most experience with this game. Now it's probably not even close anymore. Alright. Now you guys can rate my Cleric gameplay. And we can see if Cleric is as bad as you guys have, Ailey, thank you for the Prime. I appreciate that. And thank you for the, for bringing up the QA topic. It was a fun one. We'll have to talk more about that one. Cleric's new card? Alright, let's get some abilities on the bar. Let's organize my spellbook to start. Oh, I forgot about I haven't ever used this ability, these abilities in like actual gameplay yet. That'll be interesting. How do you rotate your spell bar that way versus up and down? So what you can do is, see this little spinny thing? You just click that. And then that. And then that. Got a nuke. Put that on that. To... Uh-oh. Oh, I gotta set my skills. Oh, no. Alright. Uh-oh. Let's see how much... Oh, I definitely wasted a ton of mana there. This is gonna be a giga heal on that pet. Yeah. That was a ton of wasted mana. Alright. How much mana is Impart Favor? 330. Exceptional Heal, 230. How's the sound balance on everything? Is the game sound too loud or anything? I feel like it's maybe slightly too loud. Alright, let me get my buffs out. Holy Resilience, Holy Valor, probably Holy Valor. No? Uh-oh. Okay. Healed. Life Drain is big heals. How many mana regen buffs are you getting? Brilliance, Hymn of Inspiration. Mana seems good, boys. I don't know. Just wait till we make the balance, put the balance patch in where it's actually a lot harder to be a healer because your tank is just getting destroyed. Yeah, Water Elemental Pet is like, it's good, but it's not a ton of regen, I don't think. Things to do as a healer sounds great. Yeah. It's gonna, I mean, in terms of just like raw numbers, it's gonna get harder. I wouldn't say it's gonna get, I mean, obviously it's gonna get harder and more dangerous, but, like mechanically, it's not gonna get much more intensive, right? I mean, just by virtue of changing the numbers, it'll probably be a little bit more mechanically whatever, right? But I pressed my less efficient buttons. It's okay. I feel like that's gonna be fine. Nothing will be as loud as your keyboard? Yeah. I'm gonna get a new keyboard soon, hopefully. Gonna help with that. Also, maybe adjust my microphone setup. Alright, I really need to find my HP buff. Alright, I think I want to put this on my bar, kinda. Yeah, I do have an NVIDIA GPU. I could do that. There's the problem is I like to talk while typing. Oh my god, is that actually true, Matsui? That's hilarious. That's pretty nuts. Do you have a character where the UI layout isn't reset on? Because then you could potentially pull that UI from that character, Zasarn. Alright. So Valor's 20. Resilience is 32. I'm pretty sure that's it. I should just nuke. Okay, and then I'll put on a little Divine Aegis action. How would you feel about me getting in voice chat with the boys? Would that be cool? It'll definitely turn from a PG stream into a not so PG, but what do you mean, incredible? Yeah, it would get pretty... It'd get pretty, pretty wild pretty quick, but... Alright, let me buff some people. Starting with myself. Wow, look at all these fizzles. What is this? What is this game? Yo, but look at my abjuration. It's 205 out of 205. You are gonna have a focus target? Potentially. Man, I should tell the boys to just take off their gear at this point. Hey, how's it going, Pattis? Good to see you. How's the leveling? Working on dinner right now? I mean, I started at... I started at, what do you call it? Level 1. I'm now level 40 in about 30 minutes of gameplay, so... Probably want to ignore that fact, but... Yeah, what's my wisdom at? 45 wisdom? I don't have an insane amount of mana, that's for sure. Did I enjoy the bone construct debacle yesterday? I did. I feel like the mana cost might be a little high on that impart. A little bit high. Especially if we're gonna be actually taking damage in the future. Enjoyed the fight on Bone Construct quite a bit. Felt fun mechanically. Nice, Angriest Autist. Hey, I kind of feel like my my hot tea is really helping, so that was a good call, guys. Thank you. Boxing allowed on PvP server? We're probably not going to allow boxing on the PvP server come early access. It'll be a no-box server. Yeah, sorry. I apologize. I didn't mean to, Matt Sergi. I was just reading his name, you know? I might actually downrank my impart. I'm considering downranking my impart. Let me take a look at that though. So I'm using impart favor. I have to see like what the math is on everything. I might just use exceptional healing. I think maybe the play is just exceptional healing. But let me double check. So impart. I think downranking in part is better, actually, than exceptional. I'm gonna take Healing Gleam off my bar. I don't feel like I'm gonna need it. Alright, let me buff his pet. Yo, that's kind of crazy, though. That is not working as intended. What? What? That's insane. That's... Like, yeah, that's just broken. Alright, I just won't buff. Oh, I could have healed it. Right. Yeah, I kind of like... I think downranking is... Let me ask how much HP... How much max HP does everyone have? This is in Night Harbor, yeah? Uh-oh, gotta press a button. Hold up. This is very sandwichy combat. I love it. Speaking of sandwichy combat, I really need to eat some food, and I really need to press the giveaway button. My mana would be so good right now if I didn't fizzle out of mana with the HP buff. I feel like it's a tragedy. Yeah, exactly. That's why I shouldn't be low on mana. You know? I feel like I've been pretty good with being efficient with my mana. That was an efficient heal. Now, I should work out, like, the efficiencies on... If I overheal a little bit with the other thing, is it still worth it? I don't think it is. Yeah. I think this is slightly better to just downright my in part. Due for 2 keys? Alright. Spotted waffle. Melviny. Congrats. Do we still only need to type once to enter? Yeah, unless I say so. Unless it resets. Sounds good, Ailey. Have a good evening. Nice chatting with you. Will there ever be an indicator to show that we are in combat? No. There will not. Because combat state is irrelevant for like almost everything. That's alright, Spotted Waffle. Funk, thank you for the prime. Appreciate that. Glad you're enjoying the stream. I really need to get my lunch. Equipping weapons on pets just visual for now? Shouldn't be, but might be. I thought we had to fix that though. It should increase the damage, but I'm not 100% sure. Pet weapons work, and pet weapon procs as well. Nice. Oh, I don't think 4, 5, and 6 groups have been fixed, or the XP hasn't been increased for them yet. Maybe CDAC. It's kind of classic though. Not currently incredible. We'll have to see on that one. Possibly in the future. Rivet cutters aren't used anymore, as far as I know. Use hammer and chisel. Zizarn, I believe it's a pretty extensive camp. I will say, it's really nice to be able to press this button. It's really nice to be able to press this. This is such a good button. I think it needs a rework Matsurgi. Alright, be right back. Alright, I'm back. But I'm gonna have my camera off for a little bit while I eat. We want to do some RP servers for sure. But we don't have any concrete announcements about RP servers yet. Well, I think the no box server and like there's going to be people that want to not have an RP server but want no box. So I don't. Now an RP server would probably be no box, but I don't know that the default no box should be RP. I'll look into that, Raziel Rain. Is there such thing as a Zem? Yeah, but we do have the granularity to do it on a zone-by-zone basis, but from a design standpoint, I decided to make it on a zone archetype standpoint instead of having different Zems for different zones. So there's differing Zems between differing zone types. We may have to just do a restart every day, Denkus, but there is a optimization issue with selling to merchants. So we may have to do some restarts for that, but we have a fix in mind. It's just I don't know that we're gonna get it in for the playtest. Last few giveaway winners, yeah, it was Melveni, Spotted Waffle, Gimpy Old Man, Illusional, and Shadarg. I think they're like 6 hours maybe, Droop, but don't quote me. Not doing EU servers, but we'll be doing majority of servers in US East. So that should be pretty reasonable for Europe players. Target marking tools, probably not anything like you would see in WoW, like raid target icons. Definitely not on that regard, but maybe something more in-world, potentially. Yeah, we'll likely be doing at least a West server. Things got crazy there. Sandwich was put down. I think it would be fun to make interrupts more reliable, but a little bit longer cooldown, like stuns too. Because I feel like my stun is up way too much, almost. And I know the interrupts can miss. But I'm really enjoying having to interrupt these nukes. Because if these nukes land, it puts one of our group mates in danger of dying from another one of them, or... but it also, like... I don't know, it's just fun to have them targeted and just interrupt them, even as a healer, like... It's fun gameplay to me. Like, this is a wizard mob. Inferno, we do not want that to land. Oh, that's so weird. The cast time is so fast that it almost looks like it's not my cast. I think, though, the wizard mobs cast freezing bolt too much. I don't like that. It's good as an opener, but because if you're like running through and then you get freezing bolted and then like nuked, like then it's pretty not a good situation. But if you're in a group, if you're fighting a group as that wizard mob, you definitely want to be casting Inferno more. So, stunning that nuke saves you a ton of mana. Because this stun is only 15 mana, but if it lands, I need to spend like 200 mana, you know? Yeah, I'm all about interrupt rotations. Oh god, I should heal. Excuse me. You know what I really like? And it's probably not appropriate for Eminem, but you know what I really like is the kick tracker in Fellowship. Hey, have you guys tried Fellowship, the new indie lobby MMO game, basically? The interrupt tracker in that game is chef's kiss. It's so good. I probably should have interrupted that. Oh, I got interrupted anyways. Oh, I should have saved my stun for this guy, but... Oh, wait, never mind. He's an enchanter as well. Should be fine. Probably. Oh, it does it's pretty chunky damage, actually. Uh-oh, Quados. He was in danger territory if he got the other guy nuking him, probably. Definitely not dead territory, though. Fellowship is so good, yeah. Like, I know a number of you probably wouldn't be into it, but I think a number of you probably would be. Like, it's really fun. It's just really well designed for what it is, right? Like, what it is never gonna change, but yeah. Why is this guy summoning a pet? Are you serious? All right. Gotta fix that one. Yeah, I mean, playing it solo you're gonna definitely run into the worst of the community, but in Fellowship, but you also run into some nice people occasionally. That's definitely... Oh, pop. Yeah, the voting system is... I mean... I think you should have like a kind of like when you choose maps in StarCraft and stuff, like a map vetoes or like whitelist, blacklist for different dungeons. That way you have like a better chance of getting what you want, but it doesn't like completely screw up the queues. I don't know, something like that might be a nice middle ground. I'm not 100% sure. I think if you're an organized group, can you just queue up for what you want, or? Hey, Scratch One Tango, thank you. Okay, so you need a full 4. Oh, gotcha. Fighter ability pass? Yeah. I actually had some ideas for fighter and the other tanks, so maybe some like active mitigation stuff. This dude's making a pet again. He probably got pulled before he made a pet, and now he's trying to summon it. I'm not sure what the exact is, Kettle One. I think it varies depending on how high level you are. Uh-oh. Oh, he resisted that. Oh, wait. Alright, there it is. Alright, we need to definitely interrupt that wizard. I really need to go AFK and brush my teeth real quick. That's all I'm thinking about right now. Nah, that's gross, Matt Sergey. Ain't nobody want to see that. Yeah, it might be time to hit the giveaway button soon. Make sure you guys got your giveaways lined up. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm not letting you get that pet off. No, no, no. Oh, it resisted. Okay, I am. Never mind. Uh-oh. Oh, that wasn't too bad of a nuke. Alright. Let's heal Quados. And we'll impart the pet. I love these, like, getting popped on situations. Played for 16 hours today. Time flew by. Nice. Okay, blessed. I'm in Night Harbor. Believe it or not. In the Pale Guard Tower. I'm doing well. Just playing the game a little bit, trying to let my voice rest because my voice was dying out earlier when I was just doing Q&A stuff. So just kind of relaxing a bit, playing the game. Still answering questions and stuff. What type of utility will Spellblade be getting? Is he inferior compared to Rogue? Well, they do get secondary slows. They do have, like, self-barriers and whatnot, right? They have a aura for their group. But I could see them getting some other types of utility. Maybe some light CC, like stuns. Some AoE potential. And just a few things here and there. They are meant to be mostly a DPS class, though. Obviously, they can blink to a target, stuff like that. I believe they're PPM, Hadwin. Oh, that was a resist on that stun. Youch. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm gonna brush my teeth real quick. Alright, I'm back. I do think it's time to jump into, to voice chat with the guys here. So, I'm probably going to cut the VOD here, just, you know, like, just as a forewarning, it'll get a little bit more, crazy in here. In terms of the voice chat and, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun. And, but I'll actually probably post the second half of this VOD on my just, like, personal YouTube channel. I think that makes sense. But, no, I'm not gonna cut the stream or anything. I'm just giving you guys a forewarning on that. So there's still gonna be some alpha key giveaways. There's still gonna be some shenanigans, but we're gonna have some, yeah, the stream contains strong language. Viewer discretion is advised. Exactly. It's kind of what I'm hinting at here. Alright, VOD watchers, I'm gonna cut the official VOD here, but you can get part 2 on my YouTube channel. It's a little exclusive. So I will see you guys in the next one. But yep.